we wait, and then it all happens. Hey sis, how you doing?
Good, are you?
Mark's this way. Mark, you're the wrong way round. Is he there?
Yeah, you can see me.
Yeah, you're that way.
Oh, sorry.
It's going well. No, now you're upside down. Hey!
Very us.
How are we both? Are we okay?
Yeah, good. Very rainy here, and it's kind of killing my mood, but I'll do mood.
Great. How's everyone's internet connection? Are we good? Mark, how's your Premier internet connection?
Yeah, I think it's okay. Yeah. This is the only way I can do it. It doesn't work any other way.
What way do you want to do it? Like on a normal call?
No, I have to. I'm holding it. No, if I put it like that, I'm on the side. So yeah, okay. I'm ready to go.
Hold it. All right. I've got some questions. We've all been sent these questions, so I think we should just. I don't know why they've let us do this, but we're going to get started. So question one. Are we ready? So question one is from Larray 319-40912. Catchy handle, and it says, all three of you were perfectly cast. And there is no other question. No, there is more. You all look related and give off the same nefarious looks. How did you all prepare to come into your very first scenes appearing so well connected as a family?
Oh.
I think it goes down to the song, Mark. Do you remember the song that we used to sing before we do a scene?
Was that Lift Your Skirts?
Yeah.
Or was it the Christie song?
No, it's the Lift Your Skirts. No, can you remember how it went?
I know the chorus was lift your skirts, lift your skirts. Did we do any? We met for a couple of rehearsals, didn't we? Yeah, we were first up there, weren't we? We got up there just before we started shooting, and we met. And as I've said before, you and Al had met before and worked together before, but it was our first time meeting Jessica. But it sort of took off from that first day. We had quite a long rehearsal, I seem to remember. And we did a few scenes. I think we did all our scenes, but then we rehearsed the whipping scene, didn't we, Jess?
Oh, so we did. I completely forgot all about that. Yeah, because we hadn't seen any of the set yet, and Kate was kind of telling us this is where everything is, and yeah, it's so weird because we became so close so quickly as soon as we got on the set. But those first few days just in the studio, like when you first meet someone and then you see them completely differently when you actually know them. Like we weren't connected, at the very start, and then as soon as we got on set, it was just all chaos and mayhem.
Chaos and mayhem, exactly. Well, listen, the next question is from Asage Keej. I don't know how to pronounce it, but anyway, it says, what was your first impressions of each other? And this is the best thing. Who breaks the character and laughs the most? Who are we going to put in there, Malva? Who are we going to say breaks character and laughs?
Okay. Preface, it's not my fault. The only time I do break characters is when it's scenes with you guys. And when the cat sound, all the rest, fine. Mark's side arc gets me every time.
Mark's got this wonderful tactic of when the camera's not on him, just to sort of give you a nice little glint in the eye, a little cheeky side smile. Isn't that, Mr. Jones?
Yeah, you do that thing with your foot as well. I can't even comment. I will cry. Like, it was just so subtle and funny. So yeah, me.
I want to talk about the first impression, Mark, that we had of Jess, and then from where our first impressions of Jess was to then where we left Jess at the end of season 6, because we transformed her, didn't we, into this little diva.
When you say it.
Well, yes, she was incredibly shy to begin with, wasn't she? She seemed to be very quiet, and but I'm sure if she's anything like me, then she was very nervous as well to begin with, and but yes, she definitely came into her own and found her stride.
Stride is a very
by the end of the by the end of the 8 episodes.
She was she was future superstar Jessica Reynolds. Good. I've actually got an individual question. So this one's actually going to go for Mark. And it says, Tom Christie is such a fascinating character study. What kind of research did you do to play him? And what approach did you take? And it's from @itsBrin. So yes.
Well, the research was a long conversation I had with Matthew and Meryl, which was a Zoom call I had with them, and also reading the scripts. Really, I mean, that was it. Really, they told me the whole backstory of Tom and Ardsmuir, and the whole how the relationship with Jamie was set up in Ardsmuir. And then I then worked from the scripts, and that was it really. I kind of felt there was enough within the 8 episodes to go by, and it's very, very clearly written. So the work was really done with the scripts alone, really, but with with quite a long, good session with Meryl and Matthew on where Tom comes from and his whole relationship with the situation in Scotland at the time.
Yeah, good, super. Jessica, I've got individual questions for you. For Malva! Did you take any inspiration from the work of any actress about how you wanted to play Malva? No, you can't say Wednesday Addams.
Wednesday Addams. No, I really like that question. No, I didn't. I wouldn't usually work that way, and I think there was so much source material anyway, like 1,500 page book, to pick from and like to analyze, and I work quite intellectually at first, in like the prep time, so I had like a little book, and I was reading the book, and I was writing things down and stuff. So that was kind of enough for me, and I think the book Malva is pretty similar to the screen Malva in the way it's written. Not all Outlander characters or
yeah. I remember actually that first day where you were actually quoting sort of sections from the book at me, and I'll walk over to have a first rehearsal. Whoa!
Yeah,
this girl's done her homework, which is really impressive.
But Malva I feel like the character would have done that as well, so it kind of worked in that way,
For sure. Well done. Good. Right, we're going back to a group question now, and this is from Cats and Kilts 2. Based on your interpretation of your character, how would each individual character react if they found out that Claire, Bree, and Roger are time? That's a really good question. I think Alan would literally run at them with a sharpened knife. I think he wouldn't believe them. He'd try to kill them on the spot. He would be like, I'm in denial about this. He'd go straight for Roger Mack because he thinks he can take him, and then he'd probably, hack at the other two. I genuinely think Alan is in such denial about how big the world is and how everything is all related to, to his life, that I don't think he... But what about you, Mark? What do you think? How would Tom Christie react if Claire suddenly turned around and said, I'm a time traveller?
Oh God, it would. She freaks him out anyway. So I mean, to say that she comes from the future would just blow his head off. He's very suspicious of women. Full stop. So that would add to her witchery, I think, if she announced she was from the future.
Absolutely. Jess?
Yeah, I think Malva would just like cling to Claire like she always does, to be honest. She'd want to go with him, wouldn't she? So probably follow them, I guess.
Yeah, quite right. Okay, good. Number 4, question number 4. I've just got number 4 written down. This is from Holder Petra. Many actors say that it is more easy and fun to play a bad persona/villain. Do you agree? Mark, do you agree that it's easy to play a...
Yeah, I think it is. I think villains seem to have more sides to them. They have more aspects, and you can kind of try and find the reason why the villains act like they do. you know.
Yeah.
So in other words, for Tom, you kind of try and find out why Tom behaves like he does. Why is he so competitive with Jamie, and why does he treat his children like he does? Why does he hate his dead wife as much as he does? And you know, and what is his relationship with God? So, you know, they're kind of more interesting in a way because they have so many sides to them, and because you have to try and find where that darkness comes from, I think.
Yeah. What about you, Jess? Do you think it's fun, or more like what they say? It's easier to play a villain.
Yeah, I think well, good people have bad sides to them, bad people have good sides to them, right? And I think maybe it is more exciting to find the good parts in a bad person, and then maybe discuss whether they are good or bad, rather than knowing that someone is, you know, supposed to be inherently good, and then having them do bad things. I don't know. I guess, you know, it's debatable, but I tend to gravitate more towards darker characters. So
I think we've lost. Have we lost Mark? Can you see a sort of buffering circle, Mark, or is Mark still there?
yeah, he's buffering.
Yeah, he's buffering. Okay. Well, listen. I remember me and Mark did a show. We weren't on any scenes together, but we were in a show together called Merlin. And I remember Oh, Mark's gone. It's just us. Good. I'm so glad he left.
Bye, Tyler.
God, such a pain. But I'll keep talking while I try and invite him in again. There was I was in a show called Merlin with Mark, and I remember always that talking to Bradley, who played Arthur, and he said that it's the most uninteresting part to play because he's the archetypal. He's back. Mark, I was just talking about the fact that we were in Merlin together. Do you remember Merlin? And talking to Bradley about playing King Arthur, and he was saying that that being a hero is actually notoriously hard, and being the villain is actually, like you said, it's got more layers to it. So I think actually, I wouldn't say easier, but I think funner to play, and you know, accessible. There we go. All right, cool. Are you with us, Mr. Jones?
Yeah.
Good. Good. You
Sorry, the Wi-Fi is not the best, but as long as you can hear me.
You Premier in, you need to pay for the ultimate Wi-Fi, but I don't know that. Anyway, what has been the most memorable experience on the set of Outlander? So, Jess, do you want to go first? What was your most memorable?
Can Mark go first? I'm rubbish.
Say that again.
Can Mark go first? I'm rubbish at these.
Okay, Mark. What was your, of course, Papa C, what was your most memorable experience on Outlander?
Well, there's so many. I mean, you know, it's difficult to choose one memorable experience, but I do remember the first time we all went to Fraser's Ridge. I think that was quite impressive. You know, the first time we saw the whole big set, and also the first time we saw Christieville. You know, that was fun, and we saw our little cozy little home.
Our little no-doored.
and in our, I don't know how much the audience have seen of our little Christieville home, but there was like a little bed for me, and then an even smaller bed for you two.
No, well, I think what they agreed was that Malva gets the small bed and you do top and tails. You know, it's me and you in this one.
Oh, it's you and me in the small bed and Malva in the tiny little cot. I think it was that. I think you're right, actually.
It's so funny.
It was such a creepy little house.
Yeah, it was an ominous feeling to it as well.
Ominous, it was dark, it's got holes in the roof.
Very drafty. Well, you know, when you compare what with the way we were living, and then when we walk into Fraser's Ridge for the party, you know, we're all like looking around as if we're in Buckingham Palace.
He's got gutters and running water. I mean, anyway, let's not. Yeah, Jess, what's the most memorable experience?
Oh, I think a couple of days, you'll remember them as well, just when it was so sunny. And
Yeah.
That location. There was one day with me and you, Art, and we were doing pretty intense scene.
Intense scene that's coming up, yeah.
We were just laughing like so much, and it was so sunny, and like in between, I was just like sunbathing, and it just.
I got some amazing photos on my phone, which I can't show you at all behind the scenes, people, but they're completely spoiler ridden. But
yeah.
Jen, the biggest pair of black sunglasses, lying in the grass.
Yes.
I remember that.
Fondest memories, I think. Yeah.
I think I'm going to go back to what Mark said. That whole big first set day where we pointed to Fraser's Ridge and then the Browns at the end of episode 1 into the whipping scene. For the first time for me, it felt like all of us were there, all of the characters were there, you know, and it just felt really impressive. And I felt that was the first sort of moment I realized the sort of scale of Outlander, I think. Okay, good. I've got more.
I agree with you.
I've got another individual question for Mr. Papacy. How did you begin to understand Tom Christie's complex character, and what do you make of the relationship between Jamie and Tom? And that's from sorry.
Yeah, the relationship between Jamie and Tom is set up right at the beginning of Act 1, and you know, Tom always feels inferior in Jamie's presence, and there's always this sort of head butting between them that goes on. But it seemed to me that the key to Tom really was the fact that he was actually deep down a very genuine man, actually, a very truthful man, you know, and very honourable. But somewhere along the line, his life experience had hurt him so much, and he was so emotionally kind of crippled that he was unable to make any healthy relationship with another human being, you know. And in a way, Jamie kind of was such a threat to him as a man, and also he was. You know, he was taller and stronger, and everybody loved him, and everybody admired him and respected him, and I think Tom always felt less than really in Jamie's presence, you know, and Tom's a very complex character, and you see different, like as we've said already, when you play these kind of characters, different aspects come out at different times, you know, and you see him at his worst with his children, really, and. You start to see the sort of softer side when he's with Claire.
Yes, that's true. Very true. Very true. Malva, Jess, this one's from Outlander. Claire is probably unlike most women Malva has ever met. What do you think Malva's first impressions of Claire are, and how has that shaped your performance in these first 2 episodes? And it says P.S., which I think you need to know, someone who doesn't take compliments very well. You are doing an amazing, as in capital letters, you are doing an amazing job, and that's from Outlander. So take the compliment.
Hello, thank you.
Take the compliment.
Yeah, so her first impressions, I guess, like, I kind of, when I first started looking into the character and like her relationship with Claire, I think it's a complete parallel to her lack of mother figure. You know, when she sees Claire, not only is she involved in science, which Malva loves, which Malva's mother also used to love, she sees someone that could take her under her wing, and I think you can see in the first 2 episodes she does become pretty clingy.
Yeah.
She doesn't leave her side, she's glued to her, and I think that probably is because, you know, someone like her that's gone through everything she has definitely has like attachment issues, neglect issues, and it does, I've said this before in an interview, like she can be a bit socially awkward. I think Alan and Malva both their social cues are a bit off all the time, and when you see someone being so soft towards her and so welcoming and loving, she clings to that and she doesn't want to let it go. So yeah.
Good answer. So there's questions that are popping up with me because I'm hosting. There's a question here from Coco Gadget, and I think it's a really good question because it says, does Jess ever give you, Alex, that eye look that she gave Papa Christie, you know, the side eye, evil eye? I will say that I had that eye more times than I could recall. On set, off set, in London, in Glasgow, in a car on the way to set, on the car away from set. I've had this. I've had that eye many times.
Sound sociopath.
What's that?
You're making me sound like a sociopath, maybe.
No. You You just know how to put me in my place, which I respect.
Well, I mean, it was interesting, there wasn't it, in the whipping, in both the both whipping scenes, the one where Tom fails to do it, and then the actual whipping scenes. Malva wins with that look in a way. Malva and Tom knows that. Tom knows that even though he's stronger and he's the one with the belt, he's been beaten by a look.
Exactly.
You know, her defiance with Tom in that look with no words, you know, it says much more than any words could. And Tom knows it, and it really gets to him, you know, that she's so defiant because he sees Mona, he sees her mother in that look.
Yeah,
absolutely. This is a question for all of us. This is from @Esma Barnes, and it says, "How has the fandom embraced you?" And do we want to answer this unanimously and say that the fandom has welcomed us with open arms, or has anyone?
They've been blown away by them. You know, I mean, it's quite. And also, you know, to have so many people who have invested so much and committed so much and have such a deep understanding of these books and these and the episodes we've done is really, I mean, it's wonderful. You know, it blows you away, doesn't it? You know, to have such being more knowledgeable than we are about our characters.
Sure. Yes. What about you? Because I know that for Alan and Tom, you know, they're disliked in the fandom community, but the minute people talk about Malva, not you, but Malva, the character, people find it very hard, I know, from it initially to separate the fact that we're playing Malva, and you know, they couldn't separate Jessica Reynolds, the actress, and Malva, the character. But I think slowly they're realizing that you're lovely. But I imagine, how's it been for you? It's the trickiest out of all the Christies to play.
Yeah. Well, I remember when it was announced, and like one of the most overwhelming responses was like, "She's second Leary, she's worse than Leary." This, that, and I was like, fair enough. Now that I guess the first 2 acts have come out and we've kind of seen the softer side to Malva at this point, I don't know if it's because of that or just everyone's been so kind, like to the point of like it gets me emotional sometimes because it's so overwhelming. Like Mark says, the support, like I've never been involved in something that has a fandom like this. It's you're all too kind. It's honestly it's heartwarming. But obviously there's a lot more episodes to come, and the arc, you know, may slightly shift. So I don't know that there could be a stark difference in the response to come, but
yeah,
you know, I think people get it. You know, I think they know that I'm me, Malva's Malva. Hopefully.
Yeah. I think I want to sort of add to both of what you're saying. It's just been like Jess said, overwhelming at points to the love that we get from all the people, you know, because they know that we're bringing the Christian doom to Outlander, but actually they love us. That's I've got another question here. This is from the Instagram thing. So it says, this is from Kathy.Marsh9. Do you shape your characters exclusively from the scripts or from the novels too? Or both? Or have we read the novels? There's a lot to unpack. But I'll go first on this one, but I firmly believe that I didn't read the novels. So for me, Alan was based on the chats with the executive producers, and also from the script. I think the script is the Bible, and I think you take everything you can from what they give you the script, and you try and talk to the directors on set, and that enhances, and you bring a bit of yourself to it, so it enhances. I hope got a bit of the script, but the director, a bit of you, and that turns into a character. What about you, Mark? I know you sort of mentioned it before, but in terms of the book, you know.
Well, like you know, mine was based on the scripts, and the scripts were so well written, you know, from day one. You know, I felt that our relationships with each other and with the rest of the new people we meet were so clearly delineated, and you know, all the clues were there, really, you know, and you know, a lot of the things we find when we're on set, when we're actually filming, you know, that look we've just referred to, you know, we didn't know that was going to happen quite like that. You know, it was going to be something we found with Kate, you know, in the first whipping scene, you know, that the kind of we found by working with each other, you know, and so So yeah, the script is the starting point, really, for me, and we were lucky that they were so well written. Our characters, I think, all of us, we can, yeah.
Yeah. Jess, what about you? What about
Yeah, I did read the book just because, I'm still fairly new to acting in general. It was only my third project, and I think for me, I just wanted to soak up everything that I could. And like I said, I approach things quite intellectually at first. I like to write things down. I love reading, so it was easy for me to kind of have this character created for me just from reading the book. And it's like, right, how do I put this into practice? And then
Yeah.
say, once you get on set, all of that work might disappear. But I think, yeah, I just love to know like the background, and there's some quite abstract scenes like that were written in them, and I think having a lot of knowledge on the background helped me like deduct what these kind of metaphorical scenes meant. Some of them were quite tricky. They're brilliantly written, but not so self-explanatory. So
Yeah.
it helped me a lot.
Good. Super. Well done both. Right. This question was on Twitter. It's from Outlander. So you both know what the account is. So Mark and Alex, we worked together after Outlander on a film that I directed called I Am One. And the question's actually for Jess. Would you, not for me, would I hire you, but Jess, would you work with me in the capabilities as a director on something like a film or a feature film? Like Mark had such a wonderful time on it. Would you come and work with me, Jess? Or, would you, the question's actually, Jess, would you work with Alex?
Not a chance.
Great. Well, moving on.
Of course I would. I would die to work with you again, ASAP, please, because it's we had so much fun, and we're such good friends now, and I hope it continues, and I want to keep the connection as long as we can. So
Yeah.
I'd love to work with you.
Super duper.
I mean, it was interesting though, going from working with somebody as an actor to then working with somebody as a director. But I felt even though it was a short shoot, I felt we kind of slipped into those new roles quite comfortably. I felt really comfortable being directed by you. That's what I'm trying to say.
Absolutely. That's really sweet, but I would say that's absolutely down to your professionalism, Mark. Like you as terms of people that I've worked with before as an actor or even a director, like you're up there in terms of professional. And it's why you've been in every Emmy award-winning show ever known to man. It's why you're constantly working. Thank you, and I thank Jess for saying yes. And happy days all around. There we go. Well, I'll do the spin-off. I know Stars have announced the spin-off as there's a prequel to Outlander, and I think they should do a sort of a bit of us getting over on the boat, which I'll happily direct.
Oh, it would be great, wouldn't it?
It'll be called the boat of the Christies, and it'll just be us on a boat together.
Yeah, I'd love that.
So you did it here first, everyone. Stars. Matt and Meryl, commission me. We'll all be on a boat together. It'll be 3 hours of pure, absolutely unadulterated bliss. Okay, we've got a couple more questions. This is a good one. I didn't really want to ask this one, but I feel like, you know what? Because I feel like we've got one person, all of us, to thank on this, this is from Blue Moon Jewels. And I'm wondering if that's Julie, my wife. Did you do this? Anyway, how did you go about learning a Scots accent, and how easy or difficult was it? But, Mark, Jess, who do we have to thank for this wonderful help?
Caroline Crawford.
Exactly. That lovely lady who assisted all of us in trying to get this accent down. How did you find it, Jess?
Yeah, I remember when I first got the audition, and I was like, why am I getting a Scottish take on Irish? And I was like, this is going to be so hard. Because it was such an elaborate, complex character. I was like, they're going to find someone Scottish. Like, I was just feeling insecure about it. And I practiced a little, and it was okay, but it wasn't there yet. And then Caroline just completely sorted me out. So she was so generous, and like she was strict in the right way in terms of listening to you and giving what you needed. But she was also so soft and allowed you to make mistakes. And And yeah, and it was just like this regular pattern of I think it was once a week, and sometimes more, sometimes twice a week. I'm just doing little Zoom calls with her, and then she'd be on set at all times, and yeah, I just loved it, and she's the best.
You really enjoyed working with Caroline, didn't you, Mark? You actually loved that time before we started filming.
Yeah, I was kind of like, it really helped me get the words under my, into my bones in a way, really.
Yeah.
And also I wanted to kind of be, as authentic as possible. So it was kind of important that I kind of got, I always feel that, in a way you kind of pay respect to, not just do an approximation and try and get really into my bones and really, become Scottish in a way, really, not just make the right vowel sounds, you know what I mean? Kind of really,
Yeah,
I don't know.
absolutely.
That was whether I achieved that, I don't know, but that was certainly my intention, and Catalan was really hugely instrumental in that, because she, as Jessica's just said very eloquently, she was really, she was kind of like really clear and really, and also she was on set all the time, which was great to have, just to know she was there no matter where we were shooting. You'd find her in a little tent on a stool, just listening in with headphones on, and right, like you always felt kind of underpinned and supported by her in a way, even though sometimes she didn't need to say anything because she felt we were doing it correctly. You still felt that she was always there, like a support system.
Yeah. You're so right, because I always remember that. For me, I feel like sometimes many cooks spoil the thing. So once I feel like I was done with Caroline, I was hopefully gradually on set. But I come out sometimes of like the church that we built, or Christieville, and like you said, Mark, she'd be in a little like one-man tent on a stool with a hot cup of coffee with her headphones in the script. And sometimes all you need is just a thumbs up from her, and you felt like, well, okay, I'm not coming over. She's not interfering, but she's giving you the approval to continue what you're doing, which I sometimes think is wonderful for a dialect coach to just be there, in the sort of in the background, but sort of giving you a thumbs up. So that was wonderful. There's a couple more questions coming in here. Oh, this is a good one, and this actually is from my wife, who's just sat there, by the way. So she's decided to put a question on Instagram. She says, "Thank you, J Van Ryan, I don't know how to pronounce your surname. Besides your own, which character would you find most interesting to play?" That's a very good question, wife. Go first.
Hey?
Yeah, do you want to go first? Which character in the whole of the rest of the show would you find the most interesting to play? What a reaction!
I'm married to Tom Christie. I feel this would be a betrayal. Well, I mean, there's some great characters, aren't there? There are some great ones. Brown, of course, Mr. Brown. He's a fascinating character, and I guess I mean, be lovely to I don't know. There's so many great roles, and some of them are, I think Ian's a great part. I think Ian's a lovely part. He's got a real interesting journey in this. Yeah.
Is this all seasons or just this? Or
let's do season 6, because that's the show. That's the season we're trying to promote.
Oh, probably maybe Morsley or Fergus or something.
Yeah. Very good out. I think we've lost Papa C. I think he's done. He's gone buffering again. I'm going to say Granny Wilson. I think Granny Wilson has possibly the best story arc ever.
Actually, I changed mine.
Good. Thank you very much. Mark's gone, I think. We'll wait for him to disappear, and I'll invite him back in. Mark Lewis Jones has left. Okay, I'm going to invite him back in. Where is he? Mark. Do you know what? I tell you what, he hasn't paid for the ultimate Wi-Fi because he's a cheapskate in Premier Inn, and now it's just the us two. I've invited him back. Let's see if he appears. There's a question here. Hey, welcome back. You keep disappearing. You keep running away. You back?
I am. Yeah.
Okay. We're gonna sign off with 2 more questions. This question basically, remember we did those little like EPKs, and they said, "What books are you reading at the moment?" Wayward McKay asks us, "Has those books? Are you still reading those books, or have those books changed?" So, Jess, are you reading any books at the moment? And you're an avid reader, so what are you reading?
I'm reading The Bell Jar by Sylvia Plath at the moment.
Oh, wow.
I actually have taken a wee bit of a break from it. So I was like, whoa. But yeah, brilliant.
Good. Okay, Mark, you're always a reader. What are you reading at the moment? Oh, we've got it next to him. It's pixelated. What does it say?
No, it's the 2021 Booker Prize winner, The Promise
Ooh.
by Damon Galgut.
Lovely, lovely. I'm reading a book called Shooting Martha, and it's actually by a fellow actor called David Thewlis, who played many things. Have you worked with David, Mark?
No, I haven't, but I'm a big fan. Yeah, an admirer.
You know who David Thewlis is? Yes, he's he's Professor Lupin. That's from Harry Potter. I mean, he's done loads more than that. I'm sure he hates the fact that I'm calling him Professor Lupin, but he's got a book out called Shooting Martha, which is not the same as Shooting Malva. Anyway, moving on. Let's try and find another question here. Oh, this is a good one. This is a good one to end on, because we're finishing at 45. So this is from Laugh Outlander. Very good, Laugh Outlander. And it says, "It's the first Fraser's Ridge neighborhood picnic. What did the Christies bring with them?"
Oh, I think a thin gruel with some stale rolls. I saw these on Twitter, and there were some great ones. Somebody put like poisoned mushrooms and milk that's been standing out. Somebody put on as well milk that's been standing around too long.
That's very true. That is so true. Jess, what would Malva bring with her?
Oh, like a crow's head or something. Or
yeah, something really dark. A crow's head.
Yeah, sheep's head or something. Yeah, horse's head.
Yeah, I think Alan would bring like sized knives leading up to like the biggest knife you could find, and feel like it's completely normal to bring super sharp knives to a picnic. Like, we're just having cheese, and he's got this machete, just like, cut the cheese. Good. I think we're done. Both of us, we're done. Well done. I feel like we've now obligated our contracts to Outlander Stars, and now we are free to say what we. I'm joking. Right, Mark. I love you very much, and I'll see you on the other side, so you can say goodbye.
Thank you very much.
Hi, Mark.
Thanks, Alex. Bye-bye, Jess.
Thank you very much, pair of you. Miss you both. I'll hit you guys up on WhatsApp.
Yeah, talk soon. Bye.
Okay, bye. And I'm gonna start off with some beautiful music here. Here we go. Bye, Mark. Mark's just happily sat there. There we go. Hey, that's not bad, I hosted because Stars wanted me to. You probably can't hear me. I'm another better. Stars wanted me to host, so I hosted. I feel like I did a good job. So, when Stars want to give me that lovely paycheck in the post for all this work, that's fine. I'll just wait for the paycheck. You know my address. You know where I live. Nothing's changed. No, actually, thank you so much for Outlander Stars. Thank you to Multitude Media. Thank you to all the publicists that work for Mark and Jess. Thank you to Louisa at Stars. I feel like I've just won the Oscar. I haven't won the Oscar. I'm just doing an Instagram live. So listen, this has been really sweet. Hopefully, I'll never have to do one of these again. Bye-bye from Alan Christie. We'll just go full pelt. Goodbye, everyone.